Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are so.
Friday night, the second half of the season began with a big bang for Braves fans everywhere. Hayward drives one deep to right field. Bird back. That baby's gone. Led by timely hitting and spectacular defense, the Braves beat the Phillies for the 5th consecutive time. Tonight, Atlanta is sure to be rocking as the Braves and Phillies collide for Game 2. It's time for Braves baseball from beautiful Turner Field in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Tonight it's our middle game of a 3-game series between the Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. All year long, Braves baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price, every day. Atlanta's got a tough test tonight. Cole Hamels pitches for the Phillies. Aaron Harang looks to become the team leader in wins. He guns for number 10 in Game 2 tonight. Hi again, friends, along with Hall of Famer Tom Glavine, Chip Carey. Welcome back to the ballpark where the Braves were 6-4 winners last night. Tommy, we talked to the pregame show about how good Atlanta's offense has been. Let's shine a little light on the Braves' defense, for after all, sometimes the best offense is a great defense. Yeah, no question about that. And the two usually go hand in hand. When your pitchers are throwing the ball well, throwing it where they want to, you give your guys behind you a chance to play some defense. Irvin Santana last night with a good play starting out the game, getting off the mound. Another ground ball double play here. Well turned, the not so conventional 3-6-4 double play, but nonetheless very well turned. You see Freddie Freeman doing what he always does. The outfielders are getting the ball, Justin Upton going a long way there. And then a spectacular catch by Jason Hayward out in right field later in the game as well. So, like I said, pitching and defense go a long ways towards winning championships, and you see that there. Gold Glove winners, that's what it's all about. And the Braves have been certainly flashing their Gold Gloves over the last couple of games. Well, we'll need some defense and some offense, too. Hopefully Christian Bethancourt will provide some. He's catching fire, and so are the rest of the Braves batsmen. They take aim at Cole Hamels in Game 2 next from Turner Field in Atlanta.
away for Game 2 of this weekend series. Hi, everybody. I'm Jen Hildreth at Turner Field. And the Braves, as the youngest team in the National League, haven't been afraid to dip into the minors and get younger this season. And the guys they brought up are now playing some pretty valuable roles. You've got Shea Simmons in the bullpen, Tommy La Stella starting at second base, Christian Bethancourt, who's done a fine job behind the plate with Evan Gattis on the DL. And Bethancourt had himself a moment last night. If you missed it, it's worth another look. Strikeout, punch out, as Bethancourt with a perfect throw guns down Jimmy Rollins, showing off what he calls his arm, his best asset.
Throwing out runners. That's, I mean, it feels really good when you throw somebody out of the base. I mean, probably because that's the best thing I do. Throw runners out because like my best tool is my arm. So it's always fun to do that.
Wouldn't mind getting a chance to see that again tonight. We are just a few minutes away from the first pitch. The Braves took Game 1 in the series last night. We'll see if they can keep it going and make it 6 in a row over the Phillies. First pitch on the way.
At Turner Field, we had some intermittent rain showers earlier this afternoon, then bright sunny skies about 45 minutes ago. Now the wind swirling and whipping around the ballpark, and it's clouding up. The weather forecast tonight is for scattered showers throughout metropolitan Atlanta. We're told it's a 30% chance of rain. We played last night's ball game through a steady drizzle for about 2 of the 9 innings last night. And hopefully we won't have any major problems for Game 2 of this series between the Braves and Phillies. Cole Hamels and Aaron Harang are tonight's starting pitchers. Tommy, big win for the Braves last night on so many different levels. Irvin Santana picked up the win. The Braves picked up the win. The Nationals lost. So Atlanta begins play today, a full game ahead of Washington now in Eastern Division play.
Yeah, and like we talked about, there's always that concern with the All-Star break. Is it coming at the right time or not? And you know, when you're a team playing well going into the break, you sometimes don't want the break. And Atlanta certainly found their groove. In Chicago, those last 2 games really swung the bat well. So it was nice to see them come out first game of the break, pick up where they left off. But like we talked about, more importantly, the great defense and the timely 2-out hitting. That's a big key.
Well, speaking of being in a groove, Aaron Harang is in one. He's won 4 straight, and this is the Phillies lineup he'll face for their skipper Ryne Sandberg. A change at the top. Grady Sizemore back in his natural position in center field. He'll lead off for Ben Revere. Then Rollins, Utley, and Howard. Marlon Byrd has had a big year against the Braves and enjoys hitting here back home in Atlanta. Cody Ashe at third. Dominic Brown back in left with Rupp and left-hander Cole Hamels 8th and 9th on the lineup card.
And as you mentioned, they'll be facing Braves right-hander Aaron Harang. You see his numbers on the year. This will be his 20th start tonight. 9-6 on the year with a 3.5 ERA, 117 innings pitched. So he's been all and more than the Braves could have expected this season. Certainly what they expected in terms of innings pitched, but not sure they expected him to be tied for the league lead in wins at this point in time. But here he is. And his 4 keys to success. Following along those lines, follow the leader. Like we said, he's tied with the team lead in wins at 9, looking to become the leader tonight. And more of the same. His 16 quality starts this year are first on the team and second in the National League. So he's certainly done a good job of giving the Braves a chance to win when he's out there.
And the Braves defense has given everyone who started a chance to win. Here's how Freddie Gonzalez's defensive 9 looks. Upton, and Hayward left to right in the outfield. Chris Johnson, Anderson Simmons, Tommy La Stella, Freddie Freeman at first, and Christian Bethancourt behind the plate. Nice feature with Jen Hildreth talking about Bethancourt's arm. That play last night still has me amazed at his ability to throw out Jimmy Rollins on a ball that was bouncing around behind home plate.
Yeah, not like Jimmy's a slow of foot individual out there, so that makes it all the more impressive.
So here's Grady Sizemore, and Harang's first pitch is a little off the plate. 77 degrees at first pitch. And Sizemore takes a strike. Grady had a couple of hits last night. He's 7 for 19 this year against the Braves. This is the second game we've seen Sizemore in a Phillies uniform. Sizemore's work against Atlanta in bulk came while with the Red Sox.
Well, he got off to a good start with Boston, wasn't able to sustain it. Found his way over here to Philadelphia and has gotten off to a good start with them here. So see if he can figure a little bit more of something out for more of a long-term success than he was able to do in Boston.
And Sizemore has another hit. Sizemore will turn 32 on August 2nd. And he leads off in good fashion. His 3rd hit of the series, and Harang will immediately go to the stretch for Jimmy Rollins.
A breaking ball down in the zone, but probably a little bit more over the heart of the plate than Aaron wanted, and Sizemore put a good swing on it.
Let's see if he does any running. He's had all kinds of knee problems. A very short lead as Rollins takes down and in. Bethancourt with a backhanded stab makes the play, ball 1.
Well, I can't imagine if even if he is feeling good for him, I can't imagine he's too eager to test the arm of Bethancourt anytime soon.
Sizemore has had arthroscopic surgery on his right knee. He had microfracture surgery on his knee in 2012. And a fly ball to right will be caught by Jason Hayward. The wind blowing straight in from right. And that hard hit ball was knocked down by the wind, and there's the first out of the ball game for Harang. All the left-handed bats, the wind couldn't be blowing any more perfectly for Aaron Harang.
Yep. Gonna have to turn one around to turn that one around tonight for sure.
Chase Utley, the hitter. He's 1 for 4 in the series. 8 homers, 46 knocked in, and a .292 average. I know Joe and I have talked an awful lot about how much we admire the approach, the results, and the swing, the simplistic look of Chase Utley's swing. From a broadcaster's perspective, from a baseball hitting fan's perspective, I'm sure he's a joy to watch. But from 60 feet 6, it can't be a whole lot of fun. Huh?
Not as much of a joy from that close, no.
How'd you do against Utley?
I'm sure he wore me out. Everybody did. Except for Brad Osmus. He's the only guy I got out.
Well, we know about Redmond, but come on.
I don't know. I'm sure I did okay against him. I don't know.
How did you try to get Utley out?
I tried something different against him that I did everybody else. Sinkers and changeups away. Kidding, obviously, but
1 ball, no strikes. And Utley takes it for an even count.
You know, to me, he's your classic left-handed hitter. Down and in, he's going to hurt you. If you're going in, see him trying to get time there and didn't get it. But down and in, he can hurt you. You can turn on it, up and away. He's going to drive the ball left center field or to the gaps.
You did pretty well against him, we're told.
Yeah.
Utley was 7 for 30. It's a .233 average, I think, is what we were told, with a couple of homers.
Yeah. Probably try to go in on him in Philly and probably turn me around.
You struck him out 4 times, which isn't easy to do either. 2 balls and a strike. And a pop fly. That's hit to left. Justin says he's got it, and he does. Utley's out number 2. Sizemore back to first. Love watching this guy swing the bat.
Yeah, very simple. Not a lot of movement. Just gets in the box, gets comfortable, and kind of gets his weight transfer to get back and get ready for the pitch, and then just right on through it. There's just not a lot of wasted motion there, and you know, you're probably surprised sometimes, but he's not the biggest guy in the world and not a lot of movement up there, so you get caught by surprise sometimes with his pop. You know, I think a lot of guys you think that have pop are a little bit bigger or have a little bit more going on with their swing. His is extremely simple.
This man's swing is extremely powerful.
Yes, it is.
Ryan Howard.
Yeah, that's this is the perfect contrast to Chase Utley.
Ryan knocked in a couple of runs. He beat the shift last night. Atlanta has another one on for him here with 2 out. Now just a little pop-up that ended up in shallow left field that brought home 2 Phillies runs. That gives him 58 RBIs for the year.
Pretty good numbers against Aaron over his career.
Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike.
Nice changeup. Finishing down over the plate. Get over the heart of the plate a little bit. You can get away with it when it's down there.
Pulled foul at first, and now Harang's battled back to an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crowd still filing in on a windy Saturday night. And the skies appear to be clearing. That's good news. And a full count for St. Louis native Ryan Howard. This guy's been a terrific player for the Phillies. 3-time All-Star, NLCS MVP, 2005 Rookie of the Year, the all-time single-season home run leader in Phillies history. Hit 58 one year. And the pitch down and in with the runner moving. Howard walks. So Marlon Byrd bats with 2 on and 2 out. Close pitch went Howard's way. First walk for Aaron Harang tonight.
Take a peek. Take a peek at it on the PNC Bank pitching performance pitch tracks. See what it says here. Yeah, a little bit inside. Aaron wanted it. Good pitcher's pitch, but just a little bit off the plate.
Will Little is the home plate umpire, and it's rumored he has a Will Little strike zone.
That's not good. We don't want that. At least not for our guy.
Here's Byrd. 54 RBIs for Marlin. 0 for 3 in the series. And good enough. Strike 1. Surprising number on Marlon Byrd as you see his power totals. There's only one right fielder in the National League that's hit more homers and has more RBIs than Marlon Byrd of the Phillies. Let you think about that at home for a minute. And a check swing. Byrd couldn't stop himself. He's quickly behind 0-2. Giancarlo Stanton is the only right fielder in our league that's hit more homers and knocked in more runs.
Oh, 1 breaking ball, and that one fooled him on the speed and the break.
That's out of play to the right. And a fan from Conyers makes the play on a ricochet.
Fans 1 for 1 on good plays tonight. Setting the bar high.
Even the fans are working on their Gold Glove awards. 2 strikes. Harang ready for his 20th pitch of the frame. And it's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We've seen a start or two this year for Harang where he's thrown a lot of pitches in the first or second, and then he's found a way to grind out 6 or 7 innings in total.
Yeah, I think you see more of it with guys that are not velocity guys, more control guys, use all their pitches kind of guys. It just, you know, you got to find what you got going in that first inning, and usually once you do, then you have a good game plan.
Nice stop, Bethancourt. Sizemore thought about a break to third, but wisely held on. 2-2.
Well, this is one of the things he's become known for, his defensive abilities back there, and nice job there keeping that ball in front of him. Those are the ones that are tough, that are a little bit further out. Got his body in good position and did what he's supposed to do, play it off the chest.
Well, he'd like action here. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, this is where you want to make a pitch. You don't want to give those base runners any added advantage.
But it's not to be. Byrd flipped the bat away. Marlin. That was only ball 3. So he'll strap the protective gear back on and dig back in. Full count. Cody Ashe's on deck. And now Harang ready. The runners will move with 2 outs. Howard at first, Sizemore at second. The pitch caught on and missed. He struck him out, and Harang is out of first inning trouble. No runs, a hit, 2 left. Here come the Braves to face Cole Hamels on Military Appreciation Night at Turner Field. We salute the United States Marine Corps at Turner Field. top of the first inning. They strand a pair of runners. Aaron Harang will now turn things over to his offense. They'll square off against left-hander Cole Hamels. Freddie Gonzalez presents his Toyota starting nine in this manner. B.J. Upton leads off. Simmons, Freeman, Justin Upton. Jason Hayward had a big game last night. And then Chris Johnson. He's killed left-handed pitching. He too is riding a hot streak, with Tommy La Stella, Christian Bethancourt, and Aaron Harang rounding out the bottom of the order.
And he'll be facing Cole Hamels. You see his career numbers against the Braves in 31 starts, the 14-8 with a 3.41 ERA. So he certainly has pitched well against the Braves. And his keys to pitching success tonight: make him feel at home. He's got the second best road ERA in Major League Baseball. Over the last 750 innings, trailing only Felix Hernandez. And score 4 does not get any run support whatsoever. Phillies have a tough time getting this guy's runs scored, so if he can score 4, they usually don't score more than 3.
This year the Phillies have scored 3 or fewer runs in 49 games. With Cole Hamels on the mound, that's happened 8 times. And they're 2-6 in those games.
Yeah, he doesn't give up any on the road, but they don't score him any either.
BJ pops one out of play, foul, and stays alive. He had a milestone sequence last night. He's our Georgia lottery, hitting the jackpot with 500 career RBIs.
Yep, big RBI last night, big milestone.
He fought that baby off and stays alive. It's still a ball and 2 strikes. Got to give BJ his due. He's done terrific work since jumping into the -- 1 spot on the lineup card. Those are his season numbers. He's hitting almost 260 since moving into the -- 1 spot. Down on strikes here, though, as Hamels got him with a heater. And he wants to know if it was a strike. The answer from Will Little was yes. Upton's retired for the first out in the first.
PNC pitch tracks. Fastball away. Certainly close enough to swing, but home plate umpire said he would have called it.
And you know what? You don't want to see BJ strike out, but as Andrelton Simmons stands in and pops one out of play. 42% of all of BJ Upton's strikeouts have been looking on pitches that were very similar to that one, Tom. I like the fact that he was aggressive against Hamels in that sequence.
Absolutely, and especially on a pitch that close. You know, if it's right around that edge or whatever, then you know what, don't put that in the umpire's hands. You make the decision.
Ground ball by Simmons to Utley at second. He'll make the pick to first. And Andrelton is retired for out number 2. It's a battle every time you face Cole Hamels, Tom. You just hope to survive the first couple of innings against him, and then see if maybe he'll make a mistake in the middle or later innings.
Well, that's his trend a little bit. He's real tough in terms of surrendering runs in those first 3 innings, so you hope to just wait him out a little bit and get him that second, third time around where he's a little bit more vulnerable, or at least appears to be anyway. I don't know that it's ever a treat facing this guy at any point in the game, but
high fly ball center. Sizemore back. Wynn's got that baby, and it's into Grady's glove, and that'll retire the side. Freeman hit that ball a ton, but the wind knocked it down, and the Braves are out in order in a scoreless first inning in Atlanta.
Some more roster moves to tell you about for the Atlanta Braves. For the second time this season, the Braves went to Double-A Mississippi and went ahead and stole the closer. The first time they did it this season, it was on May 31st. It was Shea Simmons. He's been terrific. The second time happened today, and for that, we look at our Home Depot tools from the dugout. As Chasen Shreve was called up at a 3-2 record, 2.48 ERA. Luis Avilon was sent down to Triple-A Gwinnett, and Freddie Gonzalez said, first of all, he wanted to get Luis Avilon fixed, give him a chance to work on his command and his breaking ball. And for Shreve, what they love about this guy, he throws a lot of strikes, fellas. That sure would be nice to see against this left-hand heavy Phillies lineup.
That's a great point, Jen. Thank you. So we welcome Mr. Shreve to the big leagues. We'll see how quickly he debuts. And Tommy, Jen's right. The left-hand side of the Braves bullpen, we talked about it last night, is something they're trying to figure out either internally or externally before the deadline.
Yeah, they are. It's certainly, I guess, an area of, I don't want to say concern, but that I think they target as being able to upgrade a little bit. So they're trying to do that from within a little. And certainly, like we talked about in this division, you need that guy.
A line drive by Cody Ashe, the pride of the University of Nebraska. He lines out to Tommy La Stella for the first out of the Phillies' second inning.
Fastball out over the plate a little bit, and that's good swing, bad luck. Guys, Braves had him played perfectly defensively. It's always a good thing when you make a little bit of a mistake, give up a line drive, and your guy's standing right there.
This is Dominic Brown, 6 homers, 46 RBIs, and a .227 batting average. He has not had a good year for the Phillies following an all-star season last year.
Well, sophomore slump a little bit.
And on the appeal at third, he did not swing. A ball and a strike.
Shouldn't say sophomore slump in the sense, but certainly had his breakout year last year, and as so many guys do, have trouble following it up.
Dominic, a 2006 grad of Redan High School here in Metro Atlanta. Baseball runs in his family's bloodlines. His uncle was Mudcat Grant.
Mudcat, he was pitching coach of mine in the minor leagues. Gave me some advice that I always followed.
Which was?
Another one of those things that always used to, people would ask me, why do you go out to the mound every inning and kick the dirt around and clean things up and whatever, and that was from Mudcat. So this is your office. When you go out there, clean it up every inning before you start and have it looking right. Okay, Mudcat.
Really?
Yeah.
Ground ball to second. La Stella to his right. From his knees, the throw in time. And 2 are out.
There's that defense again. Tommy going far to his right. A little bit of a dive, and from his knees, nice strong throw. Well done. Your pitchers love those too.
You know what? I have been I have to admit, I've been very pleasantly surprised at that young man's glove work.
Well, I mean, I guess I am too, because it wasn't. It certainly wasn't touted as his strength coming up here. You know, I think he was talked about as a guy that could hit and, you know, had a good approach at the plate, but defense maybe a little bit unsure, or I don't want to say suspect, but maybe a little bit they weren't real sure what they were getting. But I agree with you. He's made a lot of good plays and most of the routine plays, which is all you can ask for.
This is Cameron Rupp, the Phillies catcher, and it's popped out of play. Rupp is catching because the 1 and 2 catchers for the Phillies are hurt. Carlos Ruiz is coming back from a concussion. He's playing down in the minor leagues, as is Will Nieves, who's missed a bunch of time. It's made life tough for Ryne Sandberg and his right-hand man, Larry Boa. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You know, this is a special time of year for Ryne Sandberg. If you have a chance, with the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies coming up on the 27th, if you have a chance to read the transcript of Ryne Sandberg's induction speech, I encourage you to do it.
I've read it. that was one of the samples they gave me to think about what I wanted to say, and unfortunately for me, I think Ryan had a whole lot more time to get up there than I'm going to. So
oh, here we go. Ground ball foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
But no, I mean, it was great because it and that's, I think, what I looked at initially. It was an opportunity to kind of give some insight and some thought about me, what makes me tick, and what have you. And obviously thank a lot of people, but it's hard to do both in 8 minutes.
Popped up. Long run, Hayward. And in foul ground, it's going to be Freddie Freeman as the wind pushed that towards the Braves first baseman. And he handles that ball cleanly. Good recovery for Aaron Harang. He got him in order. 3 up, 3 down to the Phillies second. Justin Upton takes aim at Cole Hamels when we come back in a scoreless start in Atlanta.
Presented by the Georgia Lottery, Toyota, and AT&T, mobilizing your world.
One way to describe the weather in Atlanta. Bella. Perfect night for baseball. As we head to the home second inning, Justin Upton, Jason Hayward, and Chris Johnson are coming up. Another good crowd here tonight. And a great crowd for fireworks last night. Nearly 40,000 for our first game back from the All-Star break. Might be in the low 30,000 total tonight. We hope you make your plans. Join us for this very long homestand to start the second half of the 2014 campaign. We've got the Phillies tomorrow at 1:35, then 4 with the Marlins, then 4 with San Diego, and that almost, Tommy, takes us to the month of August, if you can believe it.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I know my kids are already grumbling because school's right around the corner.
It's kind of funny. The kids seem to grumble an awful lot around the start of August, but the parents are dancing in the streets.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't mind having my kids home, but it is that routine and continuity is not a bad thing.
Outside to Justin Upton with 17 homers and 55 knocked in. Justin riding a 3-game hitting streak for the Braves. 5 hits in that stretch. He takes upstairs. Red hot Jason Hayward's next. Fly ball center. Sizemore drifts back a step or two. And Upton got the 3-0 green light and flies out to center. 1 down. Here's Jason Hayward. He's our Yellowwood brand bringing the lumber feature. Why not, Tom? He's riding an 8-game hitting streak.
Swinging it well and brought the lumber last night. Solo home run got things started for the Braves. Gave them the early 1-0 lead and a big inning to follow. Gave the Braves an early lead last night, and like I said, he's been swinging it well and certainly seems to like this new spot in the lineup for him.
Yeah, what's not to like? When the guys are on base ahead of him, Hayward has a chance to do big damage with one swing of the bat.
Yeah, he certainly is that kind of guy in the middle of the lineup that can produce some runs for you. But he did what he's had to do for this club, and certainly did his best, and a really good job in the leadoff spot. But I think everybody would agree you'd rather see him somewhere in here and see BJ use his speed at the top of the lineup.
And a breaking ball hung inside, and Hayward got popped. Hamels was upset the moment that ball left his fingertips, and Hayward's the first Braves base runner on a hit by pitch.
Yeah, that one got away a little bit. And typically you get hit by a breaking ball, you think, okay, no big deal, but that one looked like it kind of caught him right on the bony part of the elbow, which, breaking ball or not, that still hurts. So hopefully that won't stiffen up and cause any problems.
Let's see if Hayward thinks about some running. Left-hand pitcher on the mound, though, and Cole Hamels. And you've got Chris Johnson, who, as we showed you, wears out left-handed pitching. Let's see what gives here in the Atlanta second.
Cole Hamels no different. 6 for 17, 353 off of him in his career.
A line drive out of play. And Chris behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Pretty big names on that list.
Yeah, and that's getting it done against lefties.
And that's Chris Johnson at his best right there, spoiling a tough 2-strike pitch and just shooting it over the Braves dugout to prolong the at bat.
Tweaked a little something, it looks like, but yeah, there's that pitch trying to go in on him. And that's just survival right there. That's just trying to get a piece of it and hit it foul and live for another pitch and hope he makes a mistake on the next one. So they're going to go back in there, see if it's the slider. Nope. Got away with that one there. Interesting to see what he does here. A lot of times when you're trying to go inside and you end up throwing it on the other side of the plate, you have that sense of, I didn't execute my pitch, I want to go back in there. He doesn't know I was trying to go in there, so see if he tries to go back in there and make a better pitch this time.
That's over the inside corner, and Chris can't believe it. He's rung up. Hamels has his second strikeout, and 2 are out in the second inning.
Well, it's a good pitch. It's right where he wanted to go. See what PNC pitch track says. Yeah, a little bit inside off the plate, but good pitch. I mean, it's tough when you're in an area and you're establishing, you got good command, and your catcher sets up there and he doesn't move his glove. Makes it awful hard for that umpire not to call it.
So Tommy La Stella hits with Hayward at first and 2 outs. Tommy's got a nice run going. He's got hits in 9 of his last 11 games. A little chopper up the middle. Rollins right at the second base. Bag is there. And that will retire the side. Jason Hayward, the lone Braves base runner. He's left stranded. And we move to the 3rd inning, still scoreless. lovely night as the Braves and Phillies meet in Game 2 of the series. We still have a scoreless tilt working. Braves fans, Evan Gattis bobblehead night's almost here. It's courtesy of Grady Hospital. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now for August 13th as the Braves face the Dodgers. The first 20,000 fans through the gates take home this one-of-a-kind souvenir. Get your tickets today at braves.com/tickets or by phone at 800-745-3000. Sounds, Tommy, like Evan Gattis is getting closer and closer to a potential return to the Braves ball club.
Yeah, it sounds like things are going well, which is great, and the guys will be happy to see him back here anchor in the middle of that lineup.
And Cole Hamels leading off the third inning, singles the other way.
Well,
don't say it.
I wasn't gonna, but he can hit a little bit. He's hitting over 200, which is really good for a pitcher. So he's that's not his first time getting hit, I can promise you.
So he's aboard for the top of the order, and Grady Sizemore. Jen, you have more on Evan Gattis's return?
Yeah, the report Freddie Gonzalez was telling us was a good one. Evan went 0 for 2 last night, caught 5 innings, but said he felt good, felt his timing was getting a little bit better at the plate, and didn't have any pain. That's the key. So catching again tonight, supposed to DH tomorrow night. If all goes well, we could see him back up here by Monday.
And that would be good news indeed. Thank you, Jen, as Sizemore takes a called strike.
Yeah, the results are secondary. Obviously, he wants to get some hits and get his timing and all that, but it's more about getting in there, taking your swings, catching, doing all you have to do, and not having any problems in between. So that's good news.
Bouncing ball past Chris Johnson. Sizemore has another hit. And now the Phillies have first and second with nobody out here in the third inning.
I don't know that typically you'd expect Jimmy to be bunting in this situation with a pitcher on second base, but given the fact that early in the game Cole Hamels has had so much trouble getting runs scored for him, he gives up so few runs and pitches so well on the road, this could be an opportunity where they try to play for a run or two here early and try and ride his hot pitching on the road of late and see if they can do something with it.
No sign of a bunt on the first pitch from Harang to Rollins. 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies all-time franchise leader in hits, doubles, at bats, and games played at shortstop is Jimmy Rollins. And Harang dropped that one in for an even count. Braves have done a good job controlling Jimmy Rollins. He's got 7 hits and 37 at bats. Should he make contact, Pete McCann, the Phillies third base coach, has a decision to make with the pitcher being the lead runner. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. 2 balls and a strike. There's Pete. That's Cole Hamels, who led off with a single. Sizemore followed with a base hit to left. Popped up, foul ground, and into the seats.
Yeah, that looked like it might have been a little bit of a hanging changeup, so got away with one. See if he comes back with it. Tries to throw a little bit better and down in the zone, get that ground ball.
Rollins has hit to 4 double plays this year. A 5th would be nice. Instead, it's a line drive to right that Hayward got an excellent jump to catch. So Rollins hit it right on the button, but right at Jason Hayward. And now Utley hits with 2 on and 1 out.
Jason got such a good jump on that ball, he almost overran it and had to jump up and catch it. He might have had a little bit more carry on it than he was anticipating. Had that top spin on it, and I think Jason thought it was going to sink a little bit more than it did.
Here's a tough nut to crack. Utley flat out to left his first time up. Utley's also hitting to 4 double plays.
Got a couple tough guys to navigate here. Both these guys left-handed, good left-handed hitters. Both have had success against Aaron, so take some good pitches here, navigate your way through this.
Now back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Utley has 19 go-ahead RBIs for the Phillies this year. That's second most in the National League. He's all National League second baseman in doubles, extra base hits, RBIs, and on base percentage. It's another area where the game has really changed. Second base was not a premium offensive position 25-30 years ago. It was defense first. But guys like Chase Utley have certainly changed the makeup of Major League offenses.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of teams saw what the Cubs got out of Ryan Sandberg, and all of a sudden it became a position where they thought, hey, let's see if we can't get something out of that. And there's been some pretty good ones that have followed, and this guy's right there at the top of the list.
Court a nice stop. Now Utley a 2-2 count. The 2-2 to Chase Utley. He's yanked foul at first. Time called. Bethencourt and Harang not on the same page yet. Now we're ready to go. 2-2 for Utley. And a missed. Ryan Howard's on deck. Aaron Harang has gone to a full count to 5 different Phillies hitters so far tonight. The runners don't go, and Utley takes ball 4. So now a real mess. Second walk for Aaron Harang. The Phillies have the bases loaded, but a very slow runner in Ryan Howard. That is, Tom, if you can get the ground ball.
Exactly. I mean, you don't, certainly you look at the situation, walk, loaded the bases, but this is much more of a double play situation now than it was with Rollins or Chase Utley up there. So you certainly don't want to have to face Ryan Howard with the bases loaded if you don't have to. But like you said, it's the ground ball opportunity is certainly there, so you got to execute your pitch. And on those lines of the 3-2 count, it hasn't all been that Aaron's just been gotten behind on the count. These Phillies hitters have fouled off some pitches and extended some at bats on him.
So getting the ball on the ground from Ryan Howard has been a problem. He's only hitting to 5 double plays this year. And you see what he likes to do: lift and separate. 12 career grand slams for the Phillies first baseman. And Atlanta shifts. 3 defenders on the right side of the infield with an 0-1 count. There's the pop-up. Shallow right. Hayward settles. Hamels the runner at third. There's the catch, and there'll be no advance. A soft fly ball to right retires Howard. And now Marlon Byrd with 2 outs will hit with the bases still loaded and still scoreless.
And they directed the fly ball to the right guy. Perfect form, coming in on the ball, get your momentum going forwards, quick transfer, and an absolute laser beam to home plate.
And that's the decision I was talking about for Pete Buchanan. If it's another runner, maybe they think about attack, but you don't want Hamels in a bang-bang collision at the plate.
Yeah, I think if it's a position player, I think they take a shot right there. But with a pitcher and the pitcher of Cole Hamels' stature, you're not taking that chance.
So here's Marlon Byrd. He struck out to end the Phillies first. Phillies left 2 on in the opening inning. They've got him loaded here. Remember when Atlanta went to Philadelphia, the Phillies were absolutely dreadful with runners in scoring position in that series. I think they were 2 for 32, something crazy like that. Similar results tonight would be welcome. Ball 1.
It's amazing how it just seems like we always talk about that stat when a team is either struggling in a series or struggling over a period of time. I mean, and that's, you know, it's fairly obvious if you're not hitting with runners in scoring position, you're going to struggle. But it's amazing too how much that manifests itself and starts to play on everybody, and you know, just really becomes such a mental grind for the guys as well.
No place to put Byrd. 2 balls, no strikes.
You know my philosophy on this. Still want to make a good pitch. You know, you don't want to lay one in there because you don't want to walk them and run the risk of giving up 4. Still got to try and make a good pitch.
Slow roller. Simmons at short. Flips to La Stella. Close play, but in time. The Phillies load the bases in the 3rd, but cannot break through. And Cole Hamels spent that entire inning running the bases. Let's see if that causes him some discomfort when the Braves come up here in the home 3rd. Bethancourt, Harang, and BJ coming up. More good Atlanta defense keeps the Phillies off the board in the 3rd inning.
Baseball is presented by AT&T Uverse and Ford.
Braves getting ready to bat in the bottom of the third of a scoreless game. And Braves, it's now time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SouthFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. That's brought to you by AT&T.
Well, one homer would be enough for a lead tonight.
Well, there's one there. Let's get a couple more homers.
There you go. As Christian Bethancourt leads off for the Braves. Bethancourt has been awfully impressive. He's done a real good job at the plate, hitting .255. He's been on base in 11 of 12 games. Marveled at his defensive ability. Heard Jem talk about Bethancourt's arm. Saw that last night. A little squibber out to second will be handled by Utley, and Chase gets Bethancourt for the first out of the inning.
And in most organizations, they'd be playing like this and probably be sticking around. Unfortunately, that's not the case for them here.
Yeah. And that's ultimately the decision the Braves are going to have to make when Evan Gattis returns. Freddie Gonzalez has said Evan Gattis is my #1 catcher, and when he comes back, he's going to get most of the playing time. But for that kid's development, him sitting on the bench in the big leagues probably won't do him any good.
No. You know, and I'm sure some people say, well, you know, just keep him as the backup. But no, at his stage of the game, his stage of development, that's the last thing you want him doing is sitting on the bench.
Yeah, if you're an American League team, different story. He can catch, Gattis could DH, or vice versa. No balls, 2 strikes. Aaron Harang, a little tapper. That's going to trickle foul at the first base bag. And Aaron is still alive. For Cole Hamels, to quote the great Yogi Berra, deja vu all over again. No runs. They've left 5 men on base. And plenty of chances in the first 3 innings to put something up. But it hasn't worked out yet. Harang's making him work in this 3rd inning at bat.
Yeah, you got to hope psychologically somewhere along the line it's the old here we go again is going to start creeping in there and start causing some problems, but keep getting your chances.
A swing and a miss takes care of Harang. And that's the 3rd strikeout for Cole Hamels. Yeah, every major league player oozes confidence. I mean, that's why they're here. But when Hamels goes through a stretch like he's going through this year, I would think even the most confident pitcher or player has to start questioning approach, certainly result.
No, you question result, no question about it. I mean, your starting pitchers, you're judged by how many games do you win, and you can only listen to, oh, you're pitching good for, you know, for so long, or the, hey, hang with him, you're really throwing the ball well. I mean, you can only take that for so long, and sooner or later, you know, you just try to fight going out there pitching to not try and lose, you know.
And that is a totally different mindset, isn't it?
Absolutely. When you're going out there to win, that's much different than going out there to lose. When you're going out there to win, you know, it's the confidence in what you're doing, confidence in your team. They're going to support you. You're aggressive, trying to get guys out. When you're pitching out to lose, it's almost like you're knowing that one mistake is going to beat you potentially, and you're trying not to make it.
Liner foul, out of play by B.J. Upton. A ball and 2 strikes. And in the case of Hamels, where every pitch you throw, you're trying to throw it through the eye of the needle. Talk about pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at some of his numbers now. I mean, he's 7 innings or more in 11 of his last 13 starts, posting a 2.18 ERA, and he's 3-3, I think, in that stretch. And
he should be much more successful as far as the record goes than he is, but that's not his fault. He's doing his part for the mound. He hasn't allowed a Braves hit through 3 scoreless innings in Game 2 at Turner Field tonight. Good luck for Marine Corps Appreciation Night at Turner Field. The big crowd is out to support those fine men and women in uniform tonight. Come on out and take advantage of Taco Mac $15 Wednesdays. Get an outfield seat plus a free Taco Mac gift card for just $15 every Wednesday home game. Visit Braves.com/summer to get this amazing ticket deal. All right, Aaron Harang and Cole Hamels through 3 scoreless. Let's see if Aaron can have another easy inning. Ashe, Brown, and Rupp, the Phillies trio coming up. Got him in order. First time he saw him. Ashe fouls one away for a strike.
They could use a 8 to 10 pitch inning here. Get that pitch count back on track a little bit.
Go. Yes, he did. Ashe didn't think so. But he's down. No balls, 2 strikes.
Could have gone either way.
Little looper out toward third, and Chris Johnson will make the play. Ashe is retired for out number 1. Hey, old pal. Chris Wheeler, otherwise known as Wheels, watching the ball game tonight. Back home in his suburban Philadelphia mansion, probably enjoying a cheesesteak, scrapple, tasty cake sandwich tonight.
And a Yingling, probably.
More than one, if I had to guess. Wheels, we hope you're well. Can't wait to see you again when the Braves head up to Philadelphia to see the Phillies. As Dominic Brown bats with 1 out. Stella took care of him on a fine play at second his first time. Good looking patriotic uniforms for the Braves tonight. With the Star Spangled Braves crest across the uniform top. They'll be auctioned off after the game. Proceeds of the auction will benefit the U.S. military. As Brown goes the other way with a 2-strike hit. So no easy inning for Harang. A 1-out single for Dom Brown. And Cameron Rupp, the catcher, will be the batter. 4 hits for the Phillies. And here's Rupp. There will be no more interesting team to watch, in my opinion, over the next 12 days than Philadelphia. And we're speaking of the trading deadline, of course. What can Ruben Amaro do? What will Ruben Amaro do for his skipper, Ryan Sandberg? Fly ball to right. Hayward drifts back. He says he's got it. He does for the second out. Phillies payroll this year, Tommy, around $179 million for a team that's 42-54 on the season. And yes, they've had their share of injuries, but they've got 10-5 guys that they can't move without help. They've got gigantic contracts for valuable players that may make it very difficult to move. And the Phillies farm system is not rated particularly highly because while they were going for world championships and acquiring the Roy Oswalts and Roy Halladay's and Hunter Pence's, they traded away a lot of their top prospects.
Yeah, they've got some attractive pieces like we talked about, and you know, maybe not some of those guys you would think about because of their contracts. Maybe some of the other pieces along the way, but like you say, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. I mean, they're in a position here where, you know, they're playing some divisional foes and things of that nature, to where if they got on a run, they could make some noise and potentially at least get themselves on the periphery of that second wild card. But they got to get going quick.
Hamels is down on 3 pitches, and Aaron Harang takes care of Philadelphia in the top of the scoreless 4th. Let's see if the middle 3 innings is better for the Atlanta offense. 0-0 between Harang and Hamels tonight.
Braves baseball was presented by Georgia Power and the Home Depot.
With Tom Glavine and Jen Hildreth, Chip Carey at Turner Field. Scoreless game. The Phillies with 4 hits. The Braves are still looking for their first tonight against left-hander Cole Hamels. And it's trivia time. Our AT&T U-verse trivia question is that Craig Kimbrell's career ERA after the All-Star break is .94. Since the first All-Star game was played in 1933, who else had an ERA under 1 after the All-Star break for their career?
Mariano?
That's a tough question on a lot of different levels. One, what are the minimum innings pitched? Could be a starter, could be a reliever, obviously.
Right.
We have no.
When did they start keeping saves?
60s, I think. Jerome Holtzman of the Chicago Tribune invented the save as a statistical measure of relief pitcher effectiveness. And we're told that there is a minimum of 100 innings pitched. So that could be still anybody. Since 1933. The All-Star game, by the way, was another invention of a great Chicago sports writer. Arch Ward was the man that thought of the idea to have a matchup between the American and National Leagues. As Rollins will handle a chance by Simmons, slow roller, and he's retired for out number 1. Back in the early days, there wasn't one, but there were 2 All-Star games per year.
That's right.
They were played. So Hamels, twirling no-hit ball. He had a very similar run for the Phillies in the middle of this 2014 season, from June 6th through June 16th, when he beat the Braves, or when the Phillies beat the Braves 6-1. He fired 22 2/3 scoreless innings in a row with 15 hits and 24 strikeouts. And what his record was, Tommy, in that stretch?
Probably 0-0 or 1-1.
1-0. Won 1 game. With that great run of individual work. Well, that's the maddening thing, I would imagine, about your job. There's only so much you can do. You can throw a shutout, but if the team doesn't score, you get a no decision.
Well, I mean, again, you look at his road starts this year. He's had 8 road starts. He's got a 2.01 ERA. He's allowed 3 earned runs or less in each of those road starts, and he's 2-3. I mean, you can't pitch much better than that. But like you say, you're at the mercy of what else is going on around you sometimes.
Yeah, moral victories get old after a while.
Yeah.
And of all the pieces that the Phillies have, for me, this guy would be the most attractive guy to get.
I agree, but I think the least likely for them to move.
1-2 pitch, and Freeman is down. Breaking ball, nasty pitch from Hamels, and quickly 2 out. There was a big trade made last night, and it's one that will impact the Braves. We'll tell you about that after we look at the strikeout of Freeman.
And this is part of his repertoire. Part of what makes him so tough is that nasty, hard-breaking slider, I guess, or probably maybe curveball. Just starts on the plate for a long time and then just finishes hard down out of the zone. Tough to stay on it as a lefty.
Here's Justin Upton with the bases clear. Justin flied to deep center his first time up. Braves will be facing the Padres at the end of this homestand. The Padres traded their closer Houston Street to the Angels. That happened last night. 4 minor league players went back to San Diego. And the Angels, who've been trying to shore up their bullpen, have added Jason Grilli and now Houston Street to the back end of their relief corps. And why not? All of a sudden, they're within a game and a half of Oakland, Tom, and Oakland was the club that got all the headlines with the Samardzija deal.
Right, and they've been the darling, so to speak, of baseball with what they've done in the first half of the year, and rightly so. But even with that, like you say, they've only got a game and a half lead, so the Angels are charging.
And a strike to Upton. 1 ball, 2 strikes. San Diego lost to the Mets last night. Mets have won 9 of 11 games. They're charging now in the East. They're only 7 games behind the Braves. Ooh, a flinch. Hamels thought he got it there, but Will Little said it was outside and low. 2-2.
He wanted it. He tried to sell it with walking off the mound a little bit, but didn't get it. CNC pitch tracks. That's the pitcher's pitch there. Didn't get it.
But all is right for Cole Hamels. Justice served as he strikes out Justin Upton. 3 up, 3 down. Hamels is rolling. He's set down 8 in a row, and he's still scoreless heading to the 5th. Head to the 5th inning. Quickly time for our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. Braves won 6-4 yesterday, and on the leaderboard the Braves have now won 9 consecutive post All-Star first games.
I
think I said that right.
Getting off to a good start.
Yeah,
you said what I heard.
Okay. Very nice. That ties a major league record, apparently. I mean, there's a stat for everything now.
Right.
Right? But that's still pretty cool. The Montreal Expos won 9 straight games after the All-Star break from 1984 to 1992. The Yankees did that as well. They've done it twice, 1940 to 1949, and 2002 to 2010.
See, if you were a bet man, the Braves would have been a good bet last night based on that.
Right. But seeing as we have a duty to perform.
Exactly.
There's no betting in baseball. Rang 3-0 to Grady Sizemore. And a 4-pitch walk. He's had base runners all over the place tonight, and Braves keep setting up the pins for Rollins, Utley, and Howard. Knock on wood, no one's been able to knock him down yet.
Yeah, he's pitched out of a lot of trouble with the top half of the order and breezed through the bottom half of the order, and kind of hoping that trend was going to change a little bit here this inning, but not so far. But those first 5 guys in the lineup are pretty good too, so that'll put a little stress on you.
Rollins might want to try to hit it someplace other than Jason Hayward. He's 0 for 2.
I'm all right with him hitting it at Andrelton for a change.
There you go. That followed Rollins into the left-hand batter's box. Rang missed badly. A ball into strike. Rollins is a 10-5 player, 10 years in the big leagues, 5 with one team, so he can block any potential trade that the Phillies might entertain for him at the deadline. Well, his skill set, you'd think he'd be a valuable commodity. Think of a team like the Tigers that have been without a shortstop or rumored to be looking for a shortstop.
He would help some clubs, no question.
And he's got experience, which, you know, there's no experience like it. All those championship runs for Jimmy Rollins and World Series appearances. But so far, from what I've read in the paper, he's been cool to any change of address.
Yeah, it'd be tough at this stage of the game. You know, been around a lot of these guys for so long. Obviously likes Philly a lot.
1-2 pitch. Slapped out a play foul. It's still a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you have to factor in too, which I don't know, but you have to factor in, you know, almost push this year aside. What's the makeup of our team now, potentially next year? What kind of chance do we have next year, even if this year hasn't gone the way we wanted? And you got to be careful not to dismantle.
Again to right. Hayward's going to take care of Rollins for a 3rd time. Look at Jimmy. All he can do is make a turn and smile sheepishly as, hey, hit it someplace else. He's 0 for 3.
Better stop hitting it to him or start hitting it over his head. One of the two.
1 on, 1 out for Utley. Hit it right on the button, but right at Hayward. Here's Chase. He's flat out and walked.
That's another way the game can be cruel sometimes. He's hit 3 balls on the nose and there's nothing to show for it.
Utley flies to left. Justin's going to handle this one with the swirling winds. Back to first is Sizemore. 2 outs. Yeah, we talked about moral victories for pitchers. Hitters feel the same way, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
The stat sheet doesn't say, hey, he's 0 for 10, but he hit it hard 10 times.
No, it doesn't. It's, you know, again, it's all driven. But, you know, you try to keep it simple in your mind as a hitter. Go up there and try and have, you know, 2 or 3, 4 quality at bats. Hit the ball hard 3 or 4 times. And if you do that often enough, good things are going to happen. But hasn't been the case so far for Jimmy tonight.
Here's Howard. He's walked and he's popped out. And ball outside. With big Phillies first baseman. Grew up in suburban St. Louis, western St. Louis County. Close play at first, and Sizemore just got back in time. Harang thought he might have had him picked.
Close.
Two and 0. You can understand the care with which Harang goes after Howard. Tom mentioned he's had great luck against him. 9 for 27 with 3 homers. Bird and Ashe to follow.
He'll be the guy you identify not to let beat you, and especially with those numbers against you.
Another shot to left, and Upton gives ground. He's going to get there, and Harang takes care of the Phillies in the 5th. Atlanta's looking for its first hit against Cole Hamels, but Harang's kept the Phillies off the scoreboard too.
defining moment taking place before the game today. It is Military Appreciation Night. The Braves with a very touching ceremony before the game started. The fans got to see Kyle Carpenter and hear from him, a Medal of Honor recipient. And as you might imagine, there are plenty of members of the military and their families in the stands for this Braves game here tonight. And I had a chance to come and find a group of them. The Haleys are here with me and their son Tyler, a member of the Marine Corps. And, you know, you guys don't get a ton of time together because, Chris, I know you travel with your job in the military as well. Tyler, you travel, but you got to come to a Braves game, right?
Yes, of course. A couple times a year at least.
Big Braves fans?
We are. We love the Braves.
Okay, so Tyler is about to take off. His first appointment. You're going to leave tomorrow, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How high on the list? And what did you need to do while you were home, and how high were the Braves on that list?
Definitely had to come to the Braves game before I left. It's been a while, and after coming home, I definitely had to make one before I left.
I think they definitely need to get you guys a win, that's for sure. Well, I've got to tell you guys something really cool that they did. Blaine, you had a great idea for Father's Day, right? Fox Sports Fan Express, you guys took the bus to the game. How was it?
We did. It was awesome, and the word just kind of got out, and everybody was like, well, let's go again. So it just happened to be that this night was Military Appreciation Week, and it was a surprise to me that Tyler came home on the 4th of July, and this was the Marine Corps night, so it just all kind of worked out for us.
This is your family time, isn't it, when you guys get to come do stuff like this? And Kelsey is over here, too. I'm so sorry, Kelsey. Don't let me forget you. I just have a hard time twisting that far around. But, I mean, this is a special moment to get you guys together, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's awesome. I love being at the ball game. There's nothing better than being at the ball game with family, with my son in the military. Come on. It's great.
Well, guys, we're going to let you all enjoy the rest of the game. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your service. I know you had quite a good time in the military as well. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the game. Chip, send it back up to you.
All right, Jen, thanks. Jason Hayward grounded out to third to start this 5th inning. Chris Johnson is behind the count to Hamels. No balls and a strike. All right, got to start asking. You were in the 5th inning. Hamels has retired 9 straight. He hadn't allowed a hit. Is the pitcher starting to think about it now, or is it still too early?
I mean, he's aware of it, put it that way. I think it's more right now. I think he's feeling good about his game plan and feeling a little bit out there, so he's trying to ride it as long as he can, but I don't think he's too focused on it yet.
He just struck out Chris Johnson for his 6th strikeout of the game. And frankly, at this point, Hamels is a bad breaking ball away from being perfect. Breaking ball hit Jason Hayward in the 2nd inning.
Another one of the things he does so well. Fastball up over the hands. Looks so good to the hitter, but you're throwing 93, 94, awful tough to catch up to.
Fly ball, left center field. That's going to get down for Estella. The wind just pushed that away from Grady Sizemore. And now the Phillies fans are going to start texting us that we jinxed Cole Hamels, and we're happy to do so. There's the first Braves hit of the night.
Don't text me, you did. First pitch fastball. A little bit up over the plate. And Estella just stayed with it, put a great swing on it.
Here's another cool number about Tommy LaStella. He's hitting .370 against left-handed pitching this year.
Yeah, which, you know, is really remarkable.
Well, Bethancourt the batter with 2 outs.
That's a good lefty right there that he got a hit off of.
Christian's knocked in 3 runs this year. Let's see if he can chase home LaStella. That's popped straight back. 0-2. Back in April. April, the Braves played the Phillies 4 games or 3 games in Philadelphia. One of them was rained out in back-to-back 1-0 games. Leo Tehran beat Cliff Lee 1-0. Bastardo beat Alex Wood 1-0 on April 17th. The way these guys are pitching, 1 run looks to be enough. Hamill strikes out Bethancourt. The Braves get their first hit. But Tommy Listello left stranded at second. On we go to the 6th. Nothing in game 2. Timeless moment. Maybe the biggest game in the history of the Braves franchise, one that my partner knows very well. Game 6, 1995. Braves and Cleveland Indians. And that was the end result.
I don't get tired of watching that. That was a lot of fun. Great team, great group of guys.
Now, is it true that in that game, scoreless, you came off the mound, got in the dugout, and just said, "Get me one," right?
In probably less tasteful words than that, yes. I did. I was, I mean, I've said it before. It's probably wasn't the first time I'd ever said that in a game. I didn't say it much, but to say it in that game against that lineup, which by far was the best lineup I ever faced, it was. I was probably going on a limb a little bit, but I was just trying to get something going, trying to get some kind of reaction. And David Justice listened to me.
Who got the hit for Cleveland?
Pena, a little blooper over second base.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Tony Pena. As Marlon Byrd bats for the Phillies, they have 4 hits. The Braves have 1 hit tonight, but Harang and Hamels putting zeros up. Fly ball straight away center. BJ couldn't get there. That ball died in front of him. And Marlon Byrd has a leadoff single to start the 6th.
Yeah, I think BJ is saying he had a little bit of a hard time picking that ball up, and a lot of times those line drives right at you, it's hard to get a gauge on whether you got to come in or go back, and he hesitated for a second and wasn't able to get there.
4 out of 6 innings, the Phillies have put the leadoff man on tonight. Harang has worked around that to this point. Here's Ashe. He's lined out to second. He's lined out softly to third. He swings away and fouls it away. Strike 1. The ballpark tonight playing a lot like Wrigley Field. Wind blowing straight in.
Yeah, playing a little bit like it does early in the year too, when it's still a little bit cool here and ball doesn't carry as well. It's a nice little break here for the middle of the summer.
I'm not sure, but this might be some of the effect of that polar vortex weather that was supposed to blast down from the upper Midwest.
It's over my head.
Most weather is. No balls, 2 strikes for Cody Ashe. Bird a short lead at first. The rain just missed.
Didn't we have a polar vortex that caused all that snow this winter? So is it the same thing or is it a new one?
What's a new one?
Oh. So is it the year of the vortex? Is that kind of like El Nino? Is it similar where every few years you...
Oh, it's over my head. Now you start dropping El Nino stuff on us, huh? 1 ball, 2 strikes for Cody Ashe.
What's your dad's favorite part of the game?
Loves it. James is doing the way with the umpire. Remember the old ballpark in San Diego when they had Crazy George?
Oh, yeah.
They'd have the wave going in opposite directions each deck. They'd have it all coordinated. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And outside, another full count. Orang's spot is due first in the bottom of this 6th inning.
You might see Marlon Byrd on the move here. Scoreless game, try to get something moving, something going.
And she strikes out about once every 4 at bats. Let's see what the Phillies do. Bird doesn't run, and it's strike 3 called inside corner. He took it. And she thought it was down and in, but Harang got that call. Strikeout number 3 for Aaron tonight.
Well, PNC Pitch Track says it was there. Wasn't where he was trying to throw it, but certainly in the strike zone. That's one of those calls that you get nowadays. Back in the day, even though that pitch was a strike where you had to move your glove so much they wouldn't call it, but it's in the zone.
And that's always what the hitter sees, right? They see the movement of the catcher and say, how can that be a strike?
And so does everybody else. And then conversely, when you're setting up 4 inches off the plate and you keep hitting the catcher's mitt and nobody sees any movement, then they're saying, hey, what's going on? Where's that pitch?
I think I know the answer to this question, and I'm not asking this in a sarcastic way whatsoever, but baseball is really concerned about pace of game. The strike zone has changed. There's no doubt about it. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know that it's changed for the better. There's much more consistency, I think, with ball strike umpiring. But are you of a mind that umpires should be hunting for more strikes?
I think so. But it's probably a little bit biased.
Oh. Caught Will Little on the mask. But he's all right. No balls, 2 strikes.
Right off that little piece that extends off the side of the mask. Doesn't sound good, so you know it can't feel good when that happens. But yeah, to your point too, I mean, I read an article recently too that talked about the rule that is on the book where your pitchers are supposed to make a pitch within 12 seconds with nobody on base.
Right.
And how many guys don't do it and how long so many guys take. And I think I want to say it was Dice K maybe was the example on the far end where he's averaging almost 23 seconds between every pitch. So I don't know why. I know they used to talk about that rule every year in spring training. I don't know why they're not enforcing it, or if they're not talking about it anymore. I don't know.
In some college leagues, they've got a pitch clock that could be utilized. Hey, I'd like to see it done in spring training just as an experiment to try to improve the pace of game. Pop fly foul, and it's not that. Look, it's a pastime. There is no clock in baseball. We're not complaining about it. But when you talk about fans who watch it, and you saw Anthony Rendon's comments the other day, one of the great young players for the Nationals said, I don't watch baseball. It's considered by him and some in his generation to be boring.
Right.
because there isn't enough action. High fly to right. Hayward back. Still going back. Reaching for the fence. He's going to have just enough room. Dominic Brown just missed. Last night, that's about 20 rows up.
That's well gone last night. Nice job finding the warning track, feeling for the wall, and recognizing you have just enough room to make an easy catch.
So Mother Nature helped out Harang on that drive to right by Brown. And now Cameron Rupp is the batter. He's 0 for 2. So I don't know what the answer is. Maybe a combination of all of the things we were talking about. Because there really is nothing more exciting and more fun to watch than a game with great pace.
No, I agree. I mean, you know, look, it's all of it. You don't want umpires, you don't want hitters in the box looking for walks. You don't want umpires not looking for strikes. But you also want to get pitchers out there, pick up the pace. You know, it's good for everybody. You know, your infielders, outfielders are more involved in the game when you're working at a good pace. You know, there's really no reason to take more than 12 seconds to get the ball back and make a pitch when there's nobody on base. You know, when there's somebody on base, yeah. You know, a lot of times that's a mistake, especially young guys make, is they speed things up because they're in trouble when you really got to slow things down. So that's fine, but with nobody on base, after you've let go of that last pitch, you should have a pretty good idea what your next pitch is. So get the ball back from the catcher, be thinking about what you want to do, where you want to go, and get on there and make it.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Cameron Rupp. And back down to the plate. It's 2-2.
I always felt like when you're taking a lot of time in between pitches, you're thinking about stuff, or you're thinking about your mechanics, and I always felt like the less I thought out there and just did what I wanted to do, the better I was.
Swing and a miss. Rupp is retired by Harang on strikes. Dominic Brown hit a deep drive to right that Hayward caught on the warning track, and that's why we're still scoreless heading to the home 6th.
And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
Military Appreciation Night at Turner Field tonight. That's Sergeant Johnny Encarnacion of the United States Marine Corps. He's out of Albany, Georgia. Look at that salute. I don't know about you, Tom. I'm a 50-year-old man, or soon to be 50-year-old man, and I think about these kids, 17, 18, 19 years old. They make a commitment to join the military, put on that uniform, and do what they do every day to keep us safe. It's just so incredibly awe-inspiring and humbling.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's remarkable what they do. Them, their families, everything they endure.
Amazing people. Absolutely amazing. So Tyler Pasternak, he grabs a bat. That's the end of the line for Aaron Harang. 105 pitches or thereabouts for Aaron tonight. But a lot of high-stress pitches. He stranded 8 Philly base runners in tonight's ball game. But 6 more scoreless.
That's the bigger issue. He had a few innings there early on where some high-stress pitches, and that'll take as much out of you as anything. Fortunately, like we've said, it's not your typical smoking hot July night here, so that helped a little bit.
Pasternak pops one out of play, a ball and 2 strikes.
But like we talked about in our keys to the game at the start of the game, 16 quality starts coming in, and there's another one. Another good job giving the Braves a chance to win a ball game.
Yeah, this is one of those quality starts you don't mind talking about. No runs over 6 innings.
Right.
As a line drive gets past Chase Utley into right field. A pinch hit single for Pasternak. It's the 3-run in 6-inning one that makes me a little crazy.
Yeah, I'm not real. You see Tyler doing a nice job waiting out that curveball, taking it the other way, doing exactly what you have to do with that pitch. Yeah, if it was 6 innings, 2 runs, I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
8 innings, 3 runs. 8 innings, 4 runs really is, to me, is 8 innings, 4 runs more of a quality start to me than 6 innings and 3 runs is.
Yeah, so 2 runs in 6 innings is a 3-point ERA as opposed to a 4.5
right.
ERA. And there is a big difference, I would think. So Atlanta has its second hit, a leadoff single by Pasternak. Now B.J. Upton shows bunt and took one across the shoe tops for ball 1. Tip your cap to Hamels. He's been nasty tonight. He's thrown a great game for Phillies. He struck out 7. At one point retired 10 consecutive hitters.
Well, he's been throwing the ball well coming in, and certainly he's continued that here tonight.
Another bunt and another foul call by Will Little. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Foul ball.
Right where it figures to take a titanic shot to hit it out of the ballpark. The Braves have their first chance to create a run here. Their first leadoff man is Pasternak to reach. Now Upton trying to move him along, but is down to his last strike. 1-2 your count.
Oh, okay, smart.
Pasternak running, and Upton fouled it away.
That was one where it was a shame it was 2 strikes. If he had less than 2 strikes as a hitter, you recognize it soon enough. You let that pitch go because Pasternak had that base stolen. Got a great jump. A pitch too close to take with 2 strikes.
One and 2 for BJ. And in the dirt. Nice stop by Rupp. Bears have done their share of stealing bases this year. They're 56 out of 73 in swipes. Upton's in double digits. Jason Hayward's in double digits. Jordan Schaefer is in double digits in steals. See what Tyler does. He's going, and Hamels might have him picked off. Good throw. He is going to get it. A 1-3-6 pickoff play retires Pasternak. And now Upton hits with a 2-2 count and 1 out.
Well, first time he guessed right, got a great jump. This time going on first move, didn't guess right.
Now Upton will face a full count pitch. Simmons on deck. Freeman in the hole for Atlanta. Scoreless game, home sixth. BJ didn't get that. Hamels changing speeds beautifully tonight. Now has 8 strikeouts. This guy's been awfully tough on the Braves. 14-8 lifetime. And the Phillies can't score for him.
That was just a good pitch there. You can locate 93, 94, and then with a 3-2 count, throw that changeup up there. It's awful tough on the hitter to protect both of those.
Everton 2 ground outs tonight. Rips one over the screen, foul for a strike. Season high in strikeouts for Cole Hamels this year is 11. Struck out 11 Padres on June the 11th. His career high in strikeouts is 15. That was in April of 2007 against the Reds. He's got that kind of stuff, in my opinion, tonight too.
Yeah, he does. He's had good velocity, good off-speed stuff, great command. Changing speeds back and forth, working both sides of the plate. When you can do all that on a game, you expect to pitch a game like this.
Shea Simmons will be the next Braves pitcher. He'll have Hamels, Sizemore, and Rollins up. And the Phillies hitting the top of the 7th. Bounce toward the Phillies dugout. A ball and 2 strikes. Hamels is out of San Diego. First round pick in 2002. Well, that's hard to believe. 12 years ago.
Yeah.
He was an amateur player. He's under contract for 2018 with an option for the 2019 season. So a fly ball is lifted toward right. Bird near the line is going to get there and foul ground. And Cole Hamels is out of 6th inning trouble. He'll lead off the 7th, still looking for the first run of the night in Atlanta. And Braves. As we head to the 7th inning, let's check out their work. It's our Volkswagen pitching performance.
Both guys have been really good doing what they've been doing coming in. Both have been throwing the ball well coming in and continued that tonight. Cole Hamels, no runs on 2 hits through 6 innings with 8 strikeouts. Harang, no runs on 5 hits over 6 innings with 4 strikeouts. And he's been lifted for a pinch hitter. Cole Hamels is going to take his at bat here. So it's been a fun game to watch from that standpoint tonight. Very good pitching.
The Phillies, though, have squandered a bunch of opportunities. They've left 8 men on base through the first 6 innings, and now they'll go from Aaron Harang to the hard-throwing youngster Shea Simmons, who's pitching in his 23rd game tonight.
23rd game, 1-0 with a 1.35. He's done a nice job and pitched an inning here last night. Had a strikeout, so pick up where he left off.
So no support for Cole Hamels, is pitching a beauty. Let's keep it that way. He'll lead things off. And a good cut. Hamels already with a hit tonight. He's also struck out. The hit came in the 3rd inning. Led off with a single. The Phillies loaded the bases with 2 outs but could not break through. Took a little off.
So you get a base hit. You take a swing at a first pitch fastball like that, and then you start to see some off speed stuff.
Back-to-back outings for Shea Simmons. He fired an inning last night at the Phillies with a strikeout. And Hamels didn't get a 93-mile-an-hour fastball that might have been off the plate. So good start for Shea. Now he's got to figure out Grady Sizemore.
Yeah, the ball had a good amount of run on it. Started on the strike zone, but by the time it got to home plate, it was 8 inches outside, but Hamels couldn't lay off it.
If Grady Sizemore hit for Boston the way he's hit the Braves, he'd still be a Red Sox.
No kidding.
Or Red Sox, which is
Red Sox, I think.
Singular, not the plural.
Yes.
Okay. 2 more hits for Grady. That makes him 9 for 21 against Braves pitching this year. Tardy, a ball and a strike. Washington's up big on Milwaukee, 7-1. They scored 5 runs, I think it was, in the first inning tonight. Off Matt Garza. One ball, 1 strike. Line drive right center field. Grady Sizemore's a hitting fool. B.J. Upton gets to it, but not before Sizemore gallops into second with a 1-out double.
Little sinker down and away, didn't sink. Just kind of ran a little bit, didn't have that downward finish on it, and Sizemore stayed on it and did what he's been doing all weekend here in Atlanta, and certainly against the Braves. Another line drive base hit.
Keeps it like that, they may name a hospital after him in town. Here's Rollins. Rollins 0 for 3. Hit it to Hayward. Strike outside corner. Phillies are hitless with runners in scoring position so far tonight. 0 for 4. in the split.
It was a very indecisive swing. Give the indication he went at it like it was a fastball, but didn't get it, and yeah, it was a split.
Don't see many young pitchers throwing a split finger pitch these days.
Not anymore.
There's a pitch that Bruce Sutter made so famous while with the Cubs, the Cardinals, and then here in Atlanta. A slider and a cutter. The bane of big league hitters. Rollins looks away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That baby was humming. It was the old get off me ball swing by Rollins.
That had a lot of break on it. I think they were trying to throw that thing back door and it ended up on the inside corner. Yeah, they were trying to throw it outer half, it looked like, and ended up on the inner half.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Rollins hits it deep to right. You mentioned hit it over Hayward's head, and that's exactly what Rollins just did. A towering 2-run homer by Jimmy Rollins has staked Cole Hamels to a 2-0 lead.
Well, he's been flirting with it all night long. 3 line drive outs over there, and finally got underneath one and got it in the air. Yeah, look, same sinker that he threw to Sizemore. It just kind of tailed, didn't have that downward finish on it. Like you said, with that wind blowing the way that it is, that ball was hammered. You had to hammer it to get it out of here.
So the Phillies have scored a pair here in the 7th off Shea Simmons. A double by Sizemore and a 2-run homer for Jimmy Rollins, his 12th of the season. The Braves have a big battle on their hands now, the way Cole Hamels is pitching. Here's Utley. And Chase takes high. 2 balls, no strikes. Liner to left. Upton's there for the 2nd out. Funny game, huh? Rollins hit 3 line drives to right. Utley's hit 3 line drives to left.
Yeah, like I said, Jimmy's hit 3 balls hard over there and finally got one that he got underneath just a touch, but was able to get that one up in the air.
So a special moment in Atlanta. Chasen Shreve, just called up from AA Mississippi, is going to come on and make his major league debut, and he's going to face Phillies first baseman Ryan Howard. 2-0 Phillies on a Jimmy Rollins 2-run home run. Here comes Shreve for the first time in the show. We'll see how he does after this. Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the low price every day. With Tom Glavine and Jen Hildreth, Chip Carey with you from Turner Field. The Phillies have scored on a Jimmy Rollins 2-run homer. That chases Shea Simmons. And now welcome to the show, young Chasen Shreve, who had a good run down at AA Mississippi.
Yeah, real good numbers down there at Mississippi. Crazy walk to strikeout ratio, and I like what Freddie did right here. 2 outs in the inning. You think, wow, why make a pitching change? Well, it's an opportunity to get this kid in the game, get his feet wet, and get him a little bit accustomed to where he is tonight.
Ryan Howard will be the first big league hitter Chasen Shreve faces. And his first big league pitch is a 91-mile-an-hour strike. Great story about Chasen online. Talks about how Tom Glavine was instrumental in this guy's development in the minor leagues. If I'm reading the story correctly, Tom, this was a kid who tried to throw maximum effort, maximum velocity at every pitch until you said something that opened his eyes a bit.
Yeah, I guess a little bit. I don't know how well it worked for him, but you know, he's figured something out here and got himself back to the get himself to the big leagues. And he saw his mom and his wife looking on. Proud moment for them. There they are. That's a great feeling for them too.
Two balls and a strike for Ryan Howard. That caught the inside corner.
Ryan not happy with that call. Take a look at it. Looks like a strike to me.
Shreve out of the College of Southern Nevada, 6'3", 185 pounds, had his first big league appearance. He strikes out Ryan Howard. He ought to grab that baseball, don't you think? They rolled it right back to the top of the pitcher's mound. The Phillies are out in the top of the 7th inning. They've scored the first 2 runs of the game. A Grady Sizemore double, a Jimmy Rollins 2-run homer, and just like that, the Phillies have scored and lead by a 2-0 count. As always in Atlanta, we rise and stand for God Bless America. Timothy Miller is here once again to do the 7th inning duties.
Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America.
court now. He's got a 2-run lead, and he's allowed just 2 hits through 6 innings of work.
Yeah, I mean, he's done what he's needed to do. His offense gave him a couple. Now I'm sure they're saying, there's your 2. Now make it work. And the way he's throwing the ball, got a pretty good chance. So hopefully Braves can figure something out here.
Fans on their feet doing the chop as a light rain has begun to fall. Listen to this place. Two balls, no strikes. Freeman, Upton, and Hayward. Plenty of thunder coming up for Atlanta as the Phillies start to shift. 3 defenders on the right side now. And as Hamels paints an outside corner, and Freddie thought it was outside and low.
PNC pitch tracks. What does it say?
Ground ball. Utley spears, scrambles, and fires. Freeman robbed of a hit by about an inch. And the shift saved Cole Hamels there, as did the glove of Chase Utley.
Yeah, it looked for a minute like it was going to squirt out of the top of it, but kept it in there, gathered himself. Nice play.
One out for Justin Upton, who's flied to center and struck out. Better high strike. Giants are beating up on the Marlins. That's 5-1 in the 7th. Nationals 7-1 over Milwaukee in the 6th. Mets trail San Diego 1-0 3rd inning out west. Here it's 2-0 Phillies in the 7th. Jimmy Rollins 2-run homer off Shea Simmons, the only offense tonight. Line drive toward left center field. Sizemore dives, can't get it. And Upton's on his way to second, and he'll stand there with 1 out. Chase Utley's diving play may have saved a first run for the Phillies, but Atlanta has another chance here in the 7th.
I think Justin hit that ball so hard that it didn't tail back like you typically see it do. Sizemore going into the gap to try and get it. Just ball never came back to him. He couldn't close the gap on it.
Nice job to keep that ball within reach.
Yes, he did.
Let's see if Hayward can come through with a 1-out hit. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's grounded out to 3rd. And he skies one on the play. Strike 1. All the Braves hitters, Jason came into play tonight, the hottest. He's got an 8-game hitting streak on the line. Challenged him with a fastball. One of the few times tonight Hamels thrown one down the middle of the plate.
Little up. Just a touch above the belt. A little tough to get your hands up to that one.
He hung a breaking ball, and Hayward popped it up. Sizemore is in. He's got it for the 2nd out. Phillies bullpen starts to work. That's Giles. Hamels against Chris Johnson. All you need to know about Cole Hamels stuff tonight is what he's done to Chris, who entered play tonight with the best batting average in the league against left-handed pitching.
He hasn't had much to work with. Strikeouts sequenced his pitches real well against Chris. He's due for a mistake.
Up the series here tomorrow, 1 o'clock. The Braves live. Kyle Kendrick and Alex Wood will start at 1:35 Eastern Time. Braves trying to give him a finish tonight. We're in the 7th. 2-0 Phillies. Line drive. Utley off his glove into shallow center field. That's going to score Upton, and the Braves are on the board. Throw to second is going to be late. 2-1 game.
Jimmy Rollins gave a signal right away to Ryan Sandberg to come out and challenge this one, so I'll take a look at it. Caromed off Utley's glove all the way out into left field. By the time got to it, got it in, Utley or Rollins thought he was out, but I don't know that he ever got the glove to his hand. No.
Jim Wolf is in great position. What's most important on this play is whether Johnson's safe or out, the run would have scored before the tag, which would have been the 3rd out of the innings. The Braves' run will count no matter the outcome of this challenge. And the evidence has to be clear and convincing to overturn the call, which was safe at second base.
I don't think he ever got his. I don't think he got his glove to him before his hand was on the bag. From this view here. Yes, there he's tagging him, but his hand's already on the bag for me.
Now, while the umpires are talking to network control in New York, or replay control in New York, they're also watching the Braves Vision scoreboard and seeing all the replay angles that our TV truck and the Phillies TV truck can provide. Obviously, this is a big play. If Johnson's at second base, LaStella would hit with a runner in scoring position, and he's hit lefties very well. Let's see what the verdict will be. The call will stand. Johnson's at second base. 2 outs. LaStella will hit, and it's a 1-run game. And that was officially scored a double for Chris Johnson. So Chris at second base. 2 doubles in the inning for Atlanta. Remember the great play by Utley. Has already saved 1 run for Cole Hamels.
And this is typically where Cole struggled from the 7th inning on, is when he has his highest ERA during the portion of the game. So Braves have broken through here, 3rd time through.
That's why Giles was up. I'm sure Ryan Sandberg knew of Cole Hamels' stats. Chasen Shreve struck out Ryan Howard to keep it a 2-0 game. Now LaStella. Oh, what a cut.
See here, real tough in the first 3 innings with a 1.50 ERA. Yeah, a little bit more so in 4th and through the 6th, but 7th inning on, where he struggled, and struggling a little bit here in the 7th inning.
LaStella's been on base with hits in 10 of his last 12 games. Rupp, a nice stop. Bethancourt's on deck. That's outside, 3-1. If memory serves, Bird has the best arm of the Phillies outfielders. You can run on Brown. You can definitely run on Sizemore.
Yeah, Braves had a couple of opportunities to run on Sizemore last night, and they didn't hesitate. So, you know, base hit to center field, they're challenging there.
3 balls and a strike. Estella couldn't check his swing.
Yep. Just a little too far.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, the ball in the dirt. And Hamill survives the 7th inning. He gives up a couple of doubles and his first run of the night. And we head to the 8th inning. Another one-run game between the Braves and Phillies with Hamill's in front 2-1.
Bottom of the 7th, making our score 2-1 Philadelphia. And now Braves country. Our 2014 Hall of Fame inductee Tom Glavine, me, will be answering your questions via Twitter tomorrow during the Braves-Phillies game on Fox Sports South. Tweet your question now to Ask Fox Sports South with the hashtag AskGlavine for the chance to have your question answered live on air. Tomorrow's coverage starts at 1 p.m. with Braves Live.
I may have to type in the first question wrong.
Yeah.
Do you write John Smoltz's jokes?
That would be a definitive no.
Justin Upton with a double and a run scored for Atlanta. Chris Johnson's double brought him home in the 7th inning. Now Chasen Shreve back out there for the Braves to face Bird, Ashe, and Dominic Brown in the 8th inning for the Phillies. Good ball game tonight. Orang and Hamels matched each other 0 for 0 through 6.
That's a good test for the young guy. I love it. Freddie sending him back out there. Close game, tight situation. Find out right away what your makeup is.
That's one thing about the Braves organization that draws justifiable praise from everywhere in Major League Baseball. When their young players get to the big leagues, they get in games. I mean, they don't just sit and waste away on the bench. As Bird bounces one to the right side, long run La Stella, and that's going to save Marlon Bird. It gets down the line ahead of the throw. And Bird has an infield hit that defied the shift to start the 8th inning.
Yeah, if you're a young player, you got to feel good about an opportunity to get a chance at the big league level. And once you get here, you got to feel good about your chances of getting an opportunity. You see La Stella playing way up the middle on that play, and just too far to go, as well as Marlon Bird runs to make that play. So, like you said, beat the shift. But yeah, if you're a young player and you get called up, you're getting in.
Here's Ashe. See if he can lay down a bunt. He did. And Freeman's going to make the peg to first. A good sacrifice by Ashe. Bird at second with one man out. Now it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SouthFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by our friends at AT&T. And we made very quick time with our AT&T fan photo.
Me and the camera guy. Let's go!
You know what we call that fan photo, Tom?
What?
First the pitch to Brown. Beauties and the Beast.
Yep. Can't argue that.
So runner at second on the sacrifice. Brown 1 for 3 at the plate. A little low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chasen Shreve and Shea Simmons were a dynamic duo in the Mississippi bullpen. Simmons had 14 saves at the time of his call up. Then Shreve took over the closer's role. And he saved 6 games after Shea joined the Atlanta bullpen. He's in his 5th professional season. I mentioned the school he went to in Vegas. I think that's where Bryce Harper went, right?
Yeah, I said in that article you showed me, talk about Bryce Harper being there, and a lot of scouts coming out to see Bryce play, and the ripple effect was he and some other guys got seen while guys were coming to see Bryce Harper.
Funny how that works, right?
Yeah.
Memory serves, that's how the Braves got Brandon Beachy.
Happens all the time. Tell kids that all the time. In this day and age, if you're any good, somebody's going to find you, and if they're watching somebody else, they might see you.
Gene Carnes was the area scout in Indiana. Went to see a game that Brandon Beachy was participating in. Remember, he was a third baseman and an occasional pitcher. Gene saw Beachy pitch and said, wow, we need to get this kid. Signed him very reasonably. And the Braves are hoping Beachy will be back ready to go next year after Tommy John. Bouncing ball to third. Tricky hop. And that's under the glove of Chris Johnson for a hit for Dominic Brown. All or nothing play, and that time Chris came up empty.
Yeah, it looked like he just had a split second of indecision as to whether he's going to come get that ball, and once he made up his mind, didn't quite get to it. I don't know if he had a little indecision or if he just didn't quite see it, but it looked like there was just a little bit of a hesitation that kept him from that extra half a foot of getting it on that bounce.
So Freddie Gonzalez on his way to the mound. He'll go get the baseball from Chasen Shreve, who makes his big league debut for the Braves tonight. He'll depart with Philly runners at the corners with 1 out in the 8th inning. It's a 2-1 Philly lead. Deeper into the pen goes Atlanta. We'll tell you who's on next after this. Again, leading 2-1 here in the top of the 8th inning in game 2 of our weekend set. here at Turner Field. We invite you to see the home of the Braves in a whole new way. You can take a behind-the-scenes tour of the Braves press box, our broadcast booth, clubhouse, and dugout. Tours begin in the Braves Museum and Hall of Fame. For more information, call 404-614-2311. If you haven't been to the Braves Museum and Hall of Fame, you're really missing out. Carol and Sarah and her staff do a remarkable job chronicling the great history of the Braves. And in this 75th anniversary of the Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, and with this Braves-centric Cooperstown class, a lot of great things you ought to check out, and we hope you will.
Anthony Barbaro on for the 40th time in a tough spot here, looking for that ground ball double play. If I'm not mistaken, the Hall of Fame is voted top in baseball, right?
As of last year, that's correct. Right there in Scouts Alley, you don't want to miss it. Here's Rupp. And a ball from Anthony. One ball, no strikes. In the Braves 8th, you'll have Bethancourt, the pitcher spot, and then B.J. Upton coming up. That buzzed the tower inside. Ball 2-0. All the good things that have been going on with the Braves. We haven't talked about the good work of the bullpen this month. Braves relief corps is 7 out of 8 in saves. .265 team ERA in the month of July. That's far and away the lowest ERA of any month so far this season. Granted, we haven't played a lot of games. We've had the All-Star break, but still a .265 staff ERA. Pretty impressive work.
Well, getting some pieces of the puzzle back too helps. You know, Jordan Walden being healthy and being back, Carp being healthy and being back. You know, you kind of get guys back in their familiar roles and makes things a little bit easier. I mean, it's just, I know it's hard for people at home sometimes to understand, and sometimes it is even for me too, but talk about taking one piece of the puzzle up and you think, well, they just move everybody back an inning, and now this guy's the 8th inning guy and that guy moves back to the set. It's amazing how that domino effect doesn't always work out the way you hope it would. Guys just get accustomed to pitching in the situations they pitch in. They're comfortable with it, you know, and when you upset that apple cart a little bit, it's a little bit harder for guys to deal with. PNC pitch tracks, yeah, just a little bit high, but had a few of those borderline ones called tonight on both sides.
It changes the entire at bat. Instead of 2-2, it could have been 3-1. And now Rupp stays alive. Ben Revere will hit for Hamels.
That's good news.
To come up in the 9th. Yeah, right. Get Hamels out of this game. Strike 3. Another high call, and Rupp looks back. Maybe you can argue once, but if he's calling it once, he's probably going to call it a second time.
Well, it's one thing to call a fastball up there. Another thing to call a breaking ball up there. Let's see where this one is. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Read his lips. That ball was up.
Yeah, and I think every hitter in baseball will argue when you call a breaking ball in that top portion of the strike zone that it never looks like it got there.
So Vivaro gets his first batter. That's a huge stat for a relief pitcher. The other moral victory is you've got Hamels out of the game now for Ben Revere. So that is in the Phillies bullpen, down only a run. Giles will be the first man out of the chute for the Phillies. 0-2. Anthony's well rested. He hasn't pitched in 8 days. His fastball has plenty of life tonight.
Good idea there, taking a shot at a high fastball out of the zone after that breaking ball strike for strike two. Changes eye level a little bit. Come back with that breaking ball now if you want.
He did, and Revere did a good job to stay alive. Did he go? No, he didn't. 2-2.
No, he held it.
Bird at third, Brown at first. Deuce is wild here for number 2, Ben Revere. From 0-2 to a full count. So Brown will be running from first with Grady Sizemore on deck. There goes the runner. And the pitch fouled away. Ben Revere lives in Kentucky. He was born in Atlanta back in 1988. He's 26 now. Originally with the Twins. The pitch. Bouncing ball slowly out to second. Tommy's got it. And Bavaro, a nice job. A strikeout and a ground out sends this game to the home 8. 1-run ball game. Phillies 2, Atlanta 1. We'll tell you about those in a few moments. Let's first revisit our AT&T Uverse trivia question tonight. This was a tough question. Real tough question. Craig Kimbrell's ERA after the All-Star break is .94 for his career. Since the first All-Star game, which was played in 1933, who else has an ERA for his career under 1 with a minimum, Tom, of 100 innings pitched?
Man, I mean, you think of some of the big time guys, and then that 100-inning pitch thing kind of.
You think relief pitcher?
Oh,
right?
you got to be a relief pitcher, because I can't imagine a guy with a long career would have under one. But so much as I want to say a guy like Bob Gibson or something like that, I got to think reliever. I'm going to stick it with Mariano. Was my first thought.
Mariano Rivera. I'm going to say I'll say John Smoltz. And the answer is nobody.
Well, I'm glad, because I couldn't imagine if somebody else did it.
Right.
So.
Right. That's a great question, though. That tells you how remarkable the young career of Craig Kimbrell has already proven to be. Something that has never been done before to this point in Major League Baseball history. So the changes for the Phillies. Sizemore moves to left. Revere's in center. And Ken Giles is on to pitch. This guy can bring it. He throws hard. 98-mile-an-hour fastball was ripped straight back by Christian Bethancourt, who leads things off for the Braves. Giles riding an active 13 2/3 inning scoreless streak. He's done a nice job setting up Jonathan Papelbon. And since giving up a home run in his major league debut, the opponents he's faced have 6 hits and 46 at bats. So again, for a Phillies club that's looking for positives, maybe they're finding a guy that could maybe ascend to the closer's role if and when they trade Papelbon, or at least for the next part of this season, capably set him up. And he just made short work of Bethancourt with a slider in the dirt. And Christian is out #1 here in the home 8th.
That was pretty nasty.
That'll bring up Ryan Domit. He will pinch hit for Favaro.
Similar to Kimbrell, you're throwing 95, 96. You got Cheeto to get it, and then you get that.
10 Braves have been struck out in the game tonight. 9 of them were by Hamels. Hamels allowed 4 hits, a run, no walks, 9 strikeouts in 7 innings tonight.
Yeah, man, he looked good. Can't pitch a whole lot better than that.
So here's Domit, and a letter high strike. Another big crowd in Atlanta, 38,602. As you see the Braves bullpen, it'll be Kimbrell if the Braves take the lead. It'll be Carpenter if they don't. Good breaking ball, 1-2. Strike 3 outside corner. Holy smokes. Giles has struck out Bethancourt. He caught Domit looking. And 2 are outs for Upton.
Well, see if we follow our familiar theme on PNC pitch tracks. This is going to be a little bit off the plate, I'm guessing. A little bit more than a little.
So home plate umpire is known for a real big strike zone. Here's BJ. And he smacks one foul and out of play as we approach 10 o'clock in the East tonight. 2-1 Phillies. We'll try to even up the series. Braves lead the Nationals by a game in the division. Washington's winning big at home late over Milwaukee. There's not a whole lot of mystery about this kid, is there, Tom?
No, this is good old country hardball here.
Giles averaged more than a strikeout per inning pitched in his minor league career coming into this season. He struck out 20 of the 44 outs he's gotten this year for the Phillies. That's rather Craig Kimbrell-like. Big man, 6'2", 205, 23 years young, out of Albuquerque. And Upton sawed off. Giles can't get it, nor can Ashe with a barehanded try. Upton's going to reach on an infield hit, and he represents the tying run. So a rare hit allowed by Ken Giles, and now Simmons will be the batter.
And really a do-or-die play there. Giles fell a little bit off towards the first base side, tried to gather himself, couldn't get there, and then just a do-or-die play at third base, and couldn't come up with it. So see what we do here. We'll play a cat and mouse game. Got to figure BJ's going to try and steal a base.
Marlon Byrd very deep in right. Simmons has a huge hole on the right side of the infield to play with. Upton's got a good lead at first. He's going first move. Pitch in the dirt. Rupp's throw is going to be in time. Upton's thrown out. Tough pitch to handle by Rupp, but he handled it and threw a strike to second. And Upton is called out at second base, and Freddie Gonzalez will come out, and he may challenge this call, or at least ask for it to be reviewed.
I don't know if he was safe or not. We'll see here in a minute, but I'm with you. That was an impressive throw, because it was not a pitch that was easy to handle, and Rupp fired an absolute BB down there.
And no signal from the Atlanta dugout, so the call will stand. Rupp throws out B.J. Upton, and that sends this game to inning number 9 with the Phillies ahead by a run. These 2, Braves 1. Braves fans, Evan Gattis bobblehead night's almost here. It's courtesy of Grady Hospital. Get your tickets now for August 13th as the Braves take on the Dodgers. The first 20,000 fans take home this one-of-a-kind souvenir. Get your tickets today at Braves.com or by phone at 800-745-3000. Jim Mishidick is standing by to take your ticket calls. Evan Gattis caught 7 innings tonight, by the way, and went 1 for 4, so that's good news.
Very good news.
Here's that inning-ending throw by Cameron Rupp.
I mean, that's just a great job to block that ball, but on top of that, just a tremendous transfer after the block. Get in a position to make such a strong throw.
So when we get to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Braves will have their 2, 3, and 4 hitters up in all likelihood against Jonathan Papelbon. And now David Carpenter is going to grab a ball and try to retire Grady Sizemore, who's a perfect 3 for 3 with a run scored tonight. That run came ahead of Jimmy Rollins' 2-run homer off Shea Simmons. Need to get David Carpenter going. It's worked a couple of scoreless appearances. pitch missed upstairs. He missed some time with a strained right biceps. That put him on the DL June 17th. Was activated July 2nd. Picked up a save on Saturday against the Cubs. Pitched scoreless 8th and 9th innings. He's pitched 2 scoreless innings with 3 strikeouts this year against the Phillies. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Grady Sizemore. Just missed.
That one's been called a couple times tonight.
Yep.
But when you're 4 for 4, they give you the benefit of that call.
Fly ball softly hit to left. And the Braves finally get Grady Sizemore. Good start to the 9th for Carpenter. 1 out for the villain tonight, Jimmy Rollins. Well, you hit one, you think about hitting the second, right?
Yeah. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. After 3 fly balls right to Jason Hayward. Jimmy finally got a hold of one and got one over Jason Hayward for the 2-run homer. It's been the difference in the game.
Another fly ball to right. I think Jimmy's got that play down pat.
Well,
2 outs.
See if Chase follows suit again and flies out to left.
Right. Utley has walked as well tonight. But 3 flies to Justin Upton. Stevie right call. There's Jonathan Papelbon. He will not have an easy 9th. Simmons, Freeman, and Upton coming up, so you want to stay tuned for that. And Bethencourt wants to talk things over. Again, Jonathan Papelbon's another fascinating story for the Phillies, and we'll talk about that when he comes on for the bottom of the 9th inning. You never ever have to worry about what Jonathan Papelbon thinks.
No, you don't.
He raised some eyebrows in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago. And he was asked about the deadline, the trade deadline that is. Fly ball to left by Utley and out of play, 0-2. Phillies have left 10 on base. That's why their lead is only 1 run. Ground ball up the middle. Simmons had Utley played perfectly. And Carpenter has another spotless frame. 3 up, 3 down in the 9th inning. Last call for the Braves. Simmons, Freddie Freeman, and Justin Upton are coming up to face Phillies closer Jonathan Papelbon in a 2-1 game in Atlanta. MLB and MLS action. Watch Fox Sports Live nightly on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Let's see if the Braves can make tonight's game the lead story. They're down a run into the bottom of the ninth inning with the heart of their order coming up against Phillies closer Jonathan Papelbon, who needs one more save to tie Ron Reed for 6th place on the all-time Phillies save list.
38 games, 22 out of 24 in save opportunities, and he's been pretty hot since April the 5th. 36 game span, 2-0 with a .5 ERA with 22 saves. 34 of those 36 appearances have been scoreless, so he's been pretty good, but he's been so-so here at Turner Field.
7 earned runs in 14 2/3 innings, covering 15 games. Chipper Jones a couple years ago hit a big home run off Jonathan Papelbon to win a game over the Phillies. And this big crowd of 38,000 plus hoping for Simmons to get things started in the 9th inning successfully. And a bouncing ball in the first pitch. Deep short, Rollins has it. One pitch and one out. The comments Papelbon made, Tommy, a couple of weeks ago. He was asked, look, if the opportunity to be traded came about, would you want to go? And he said, yes, I would. And it wasn't meant as any disrespect to the Phillies, but his point was, if you're a competitor, why wouldn't you want to go try to play for a championship if your team isn't going to be in the hunt?
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where, probably a little bit too much information, more than anything else. I mean, I think I understand where he's coming from, but your fans never want to hear that.
That's the frustrating thing, though, I'm sure, for a player. You're asked an honest question, you give an honest answer, and then you're lambasted for being honest.
Well, and that's kind of the catch-22. We do a lot of baseball players. I've been guilty of it. You stick to your cliches because you don't want to give too much information because sometimes honesty gets you in trouble. But
if the Phillies consider trading Papelbon, it'll be a tough task. He's got a big contract this year, next year, and a vesting option for the 2016 season. As I mentioned, Houston Street's already off the board. He went to the Angels.
Yep, the market just got a little bit smaller.
That ball's hammered to center, but playing deeply was Revere, and he didn't have to move.
Yeah, he wasn't sure what to do. He wasn't sure to move or not move, or that's that one I was talking about earlier with BJ, that line drive that's right at you. It's hard to get a read on it.
And you saw Revere there say, hey, that ball was knuckling. It did off the bat. It took a severe right turn. Watch the curve of this ball.
Yeah, I see him. He's just kind of trying to stand his ground and get a good read on it.
So Justin Upton, the final hope for the Braves. He's the only man to score for Atlanta tonight. And a little pop to short. And poetic justice, the man that provided the game-winning hit for the Phillies, catches the final out for the Phillies. Jimmy Rollins on a pop-up to short ends the game for Philadelphia. Cole Hamels got 2 runs, and that was enough for him to beat the Braves and even this series at a game apiece.